I think everyone's affected because you can't really be yourself. You can't be open.
You know, everything that you learn about people being good inside, people being nice, just totally goes out the window.
It really affects people and the ways in which they can see themselves and how they value the love that they deserve.
Going around campus or just everyday life and hearing people say, oh, that's so gay, or oh, look at that dyke, or look at that guy, he must be gay. Like
faggot and queer and gay.
Actions to like mock someone who's gay.
Just in sports and practice and stuff, you know, you take a hard hit or something, get a stinger, someone says, I quit being a fag, get back in there, do something, look stupid, that was pretty gay.
It's ridiculous to take who somebody is and turn it into an insult.
It just makes me and others like subconsciously view them on a different level, and it just doesn't make everybody equal.
I don't think that it should be used anyway, just like the N-word for Black people.
It's wrong. It's like saying, like calling me a spick or calling someone else, I don't know, like Beamer, and you know, things like that. They're offensive. Like, you know, it kind of creates a boundary line between, like, it kind of puts a person ahead and a person under, and it's wrong because you know, it's just wrong. You don't say those words to people.
You know, being involved in theater, being involved in choir, people call me faggot, people call me homo. They'd push me around.
I remember I had one time there was this group of guys behind me who were like flipping their wrists and talking in a high voice, like with a lisp, just to like mock me.
I have several friends who have been physically assaulted to the point because they're gay.
It even got to the extent where they were making their passage home impossible. They would drive their cars and block them from being able to get to their houses.
They just started bullying him and making fun of him, making him feel really uncomfortable. He had a new wardrobe. They would like tear his clothes, spit on him. And so one day we found out that he had tried to commit suicide.
One of my friends in high school, he actually committed suicide because of all the bullying that happened, and that has affected a lot of people because, I mean, I miss him and so do a lot of people, and having people call you gay and make fun of you every day, it's not worth it because you have no idea how it can hurt someone. I mean, no one's life is worth saying that's so gay or she's a dyke or any of that. It's not worth it.
Part of the reason that homophobic slurs get used so much is because people think that they can use them lightly.
But I think that a lot of times people think that if they aren't the ones saying something, that it's not their fault, that they aren't perpetuating the bullying, that they aren't a part of it. But silence is consent. So if you let somebody else say things that are directly hurting people with real implications, that you are a part of the bullying system. You are being a bully.
In my mind, there's always going to be a small percentage of people that are going to be doing the bullying, and it's the larger percentage that have the power to stop them, like if they say something.
When it happens, call them out. Embarrass them. I mean, if they can't stand up and own it, the hateful language that they're using, they probably shouldn't be using it.
So you should make it very clear to them that you're offended. I think if someone is met with disgusted faces and offended looks every time they use a word like that's gay, they might be more inclined to stop using it.
Just being really real with that person and not trying to come at them in like a way that you're trying to be above them or teach them something, but just rather, I don't know,
maybe help them to see a different perspective that they might not have seen before. Because if no one really talks to that person or no one speaks up for that person, they may not know that what they're doing is really harmful.
And it doesn't even need to be confrontational. It could just be like, I don't agree with that statement. I think that's kind of an old adage that you're complaining about.
If it's like a side comment and it's just they're really not thinking about it in terms of like saying that's so gay, it's just really getting them to think about it. Like, so wait, how is that gay? Because gay can mean happy, or gay can mean, it can mean a lot of things. So what do you actually mean there? And if you get them to think about it, usually that can get them to change their attitude, letting them know that it is hurtful.
This doesn't necessarily work for everybody because they might not be out yet, but because I was so out already in high school, if I'd hear somebody say that's so gay, I'd say, no, that's not gay, I'm gay. Here's the difference. And I would explain it to them that way. Because it's not always easy to just go up to somebody and say, hey, that's wrong. So it's often easier to make a sarcastic quip about it that might be able to get you more engaged with that person, because they'll go, oh, that's interesting, I never thought about it that way. And sometimes it does just take a sit down. You can say, you know what, I don't appreciate that, and here's why.
If it's happening to someone directly, you gotta stop it, or you gotta find someone who can stop it. Whether it's a teacher, a professor, or an employee at a restaurant, if someone's being attacked in public, or an employee of whatever establishment you're in, you just got to find a way to prevent it.
You can't just, like, if somebody to the left of you is getting bullied, you can't just like say, I'm not doing it, so it's not my problem.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to be gay to protect other gays. You can be straight. That's why it's queers and allies. We do need allies. We need our straight friends. Even if you're not friends with us, if you see it happen in the hallway, in the campus center, wherever you are, if you hear it, you can turn around and look at that person and say, that's not appropriate language. Stop it.
It takes leadership to make that initial step, and it can be hard when it's your friends, but if they're truly your friends that are doing this, you got to step up and be mature about it and appropriate, and help them rethink the situation if they're not thinking about what they're actually saying.
If an insult is thrown at someone who is being bullied, who's being harassed, who's being called gay, or any number of terms, your support is needed to help support people, to help be better to people. And if that means a hand around the shoulder of someone who has been alienated, who has been called some really nasty names for whatever reason, we can be better to each other. And that starts right here.